All right, another day done. Watch out, man. I get a pop here. We got a long day tomorrow. We got a concert. Who's ready for this concert? We got to do all this paperwork tonight. Kids aren't getting stuff done. I think I'm going to head out, man. I'm going to go get me some cheese conies. Good night.
Actually, Franks, can you sit down for a second?
We make this quick.
Yeah, I know.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Scotland's
are.
on my mind, so you know I got to go.
Yeah, but we have a new tradition. We got to start this year. It's something I've been working on. So
a new what?
You heard me.
Okay, tradition.
Yeah. Samuel, that negative attitude is exactly why we're starting this tradition.
You're kind of creeping me out, man.
'Twas the night before the concert, when all through the band hall, not an instrument was playing, no sound at all. The sheet music was placed on the stands with care, in hopes that the Wildcats soon would be there. The students of Finneytown were snug in their beds, while visions of crescendos danced in their heads. With uniforms ironed and shoes polished bright, they prepped for the concert that awaited the next night. When out in the auditorium there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my seat to see what was the matter. Away to the stage I flew like a flash, tripped on a cymbal and made quite a crash. The spotlight on stage gave a soft golden glow, highlighting the chairs set up in neat rows. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a conductor's baton and the band drawing near. With the practiced leader so lively and quick, I knew in a moment this wasn't a trick. More rapid than arpeggios, the musicians they came, and the conductor whistled and called them by name. Now trumpets, now flutes, now clarinets too, on tubas, on trombones, let's give it our due. To the edge of your seats, don't miss a beat. Now tune away, let's sound complete. The brass section gleamed, the woodwinds hummed with delight, and the percussionists grinned as they readied their might. So up to the stage the musicians they flew, with arms full of music, and the conductor too. And then in a twinkling I heard from the stage the warming of tones from every age. As I sat in my chair and was turning around, the concert was starting. Oh, what a sound! The conductor in black stood tall and composed. With a flick of his baton, the symphony rose. The notes, how they sparkled, the harmonies flowed. The melodies wrapped us like a winter's snow. Each section played on with precision and care. The beauty of music filled the cool evening air. The timpani thundered, the piccolo sang, and applause from the crowd loudly rang. When the finale had ended and the echoes did fade, the Wildcats all smiled. What a show they had made. And I heard them exclaim as they walked out of sight, "Happy concert to all, and to all a good night."
You're right, Brad. I really needed that.
I know, Sam. Happy holidays. Come here, Franks. Bring it in.
Good evening, and welcome to our holiday band concert. We're thrilled to have you with us tonight as our students from 5th grade through high school bring the festive spirit to life with music. Thank you for joining us here in the Performing Arts Center at Finneytown Secondary Campus. You can feel the excitement as we prepare for our winter band concert. Throughout this evening, you will hear from all of our district bands, as well as interviews with our elementary music teacher, Kayla Fields, and our orchestra teacher, Daniel Geisel. Also, our superintendent, Lori Banks, will be reporting from behind the scenes to give us all a glimpse of the prep taking place for the performances. Hi, I'm Tammy Dietz. I'll be your co-host this evening, and I'm joined by my friend, colleague, and former band director, Mr. Mike Kennedy.
That opening video, ooh,
God.
Man, he looked like a little child, Sam did.
That sparkle in his eye.
Yeah, I think he was truly changed. His whole life right there
in that moment
was changed.
And we're going to get to see him tonight, so we'll see the bounce in his step, the pep in his step. The creativity behind that story.
Oh, I know. And the humor that Sam and Brad both bring to the kids. You can see it in that video. And the rapport they have with each other, that is the rapport they have with the students. And I will tell you, I don't know. I'm caught a little bit of skepticism on those glasses that Brad was wearing.
But Brad's getting up there in age, so
He kind of is.
maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see. Well, at this time, we talked about Lori Banks. She's at the entrance of the auditorium. So let's take it down to her and see who she's with. Take it away, Lori.
Thanks, Mike and Tammy. I'm here in the PAC, and I can just feel the energy and the excitement for tonight's winter concert. I am joined by band parent Laura Engelman. Laura, can you tell us what brought you to the concert tonight?
Oh, well, I'm here for many reasons. I am on the executive board for the FMPA, the Finneytown Music Parents Association, and my son is in the band. He's in 8th grade. He does percussion, and these kids do an amazing job, and the teachers are incredible. So I absolutely love the music program here.
How long have you been involved in our music program?
As long as I can remember. I've lost track. Many years.
Well, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate all you do for FMPA, and we're really excited to hear what our students have to perform for us tonight, from our youngest 5th graders all the way through high school. And so thank you for your time, and enjoy the show. With that, we do want to just say that we're excited to have the live stream and the opportunity to bring the performance to you at your home if you're not able to join us. It's just such a great way for us to showcase the talents of our students. With that, I'm going to throw it back up to Mike and Tammy.
Thank you, Lori. I'm glad that you caught a parent this early in the performance time.
I think it's just amazing how much our parents do for our community. It really is unbelievable, and I really appreciate that because I know that these programs can't work without them. So let's take a minute. Speaking of music programs, we have a large music program here with our general music teacher, Kayla Fields, and 2 weeks ago, we had a chance to sit down with her. Jen and Eric sat down and got her story about her upcoming concert, and let me tell you, those kids will set you on fire. They're so fun. So let's hear this interview with Kayla and get her thoughts. Let's go to Kayla.
My name is Kayla Fields, and I have been here for 5 years, and I am our general music teacher. What's happening with our Finneytown Elementary program? We have a lot of things going on in this season. It's a busy season for us. So in November, the Tuesday before our Thanksgiving break, we had something called Grandparents' Day / Special Friends Day, and that is for our kindergartners and our 1st graders. And so for that, what we do is we have a full-on program, musical program. So our grandparents, they can have breakfast with the students earlier on in the day. They participate in our wonderful book fair. They get to tour our school and get to see where our kiddos go. And then we end with our music program. And so each homeroom does something different. We had some students, wearing chef hats, talking about cooking turkey, from some students wearing turkey hats and doing a turkey dance. So just something very positive to bring our community together and show the talents of our young students. How we prepare for these events, as a music teacher, I'm fully of the mindset that it's about practice, not perfection. And so that's what I tell our students, is that practice makes better, not perfect. And so we start pretty early, like a good 2 months, a month and a half ahead, just so the students feel prepared, so I feel prepared. And we do bit by bit. So normally I'll split half of the time on our normal music engagements, normal music games, our whole standards, everything we're trying to learn for that specific grade. And then I will introduce the piece that they're going to be doing. And we work on it, and we keep working. Other concerts and things that we have coming up, we have, in December, we have our winter concert, and that will include grades 2 and 3. Also, we will have our Voices of Finneytown, which are 2 of our choirs that meet before school, and so they'll perform there as well. And that will be a little bit more involved than the kindergarten and 1st grade. So we'll have some instrument playing. We'll have a snow machine going on at some point. We'll have some boom whackers, acting, all of this good stuff. Yes, we have 2 choirs. We have Voices of Unity, which includes grades 2 and 3, and then Voices of Harmony, our older group, which is grades 4, 5, and 6. Yes, and this year we did a no-cut. The students didn't know that, but we had a no-cut policy, so everyone who wanted to be a part was able to do it, and we have 81 students combined. So there's a lot of things that have me excited about this year. One of those things being I have the opportunity to work with our PBL and restorative team facilitators. And so we'll be collaborating for our spring concert. And so I'm just excited about the possibilities with that. I am of the belief that concerts are, yes, about showcasing our students' talents, but I also want it to be a immersive community collaboration where it's not just audience and performers, but where it can just be, where everyone can walk away with knowing that they are musical. And again, not to be too cliche, but music does bring people together, and I want more of that for our community and for our kids. I would say, to go personal, I would say my personal growth. This is year 5 for me, and so I feel like I'm personally hitting my comfort and my stride, where I'm finally realizing, like, okay, I think I got this. I think I can do this, and I definitely see room for growth. And I know that will be forever something as an educator and as a musician. But yeah, I'm just surprised that I'm here, and I'm just excited for what the future holds. Yeah, my heart's desire for our elementary program is really to bring people together. And I am of the belief that when you see your neighbor as someone a part of your community, you will take care of them. And I think if we grow young learners and educators to see their community as, you know, a family member or someone a part of their community, that's gonna not only give them support, but teach them how to be better humans. And that's just what I want for our Finneytown kids. Wherever they may end up in the world, whether it's still in Finneytown or elsewhere, I want them to take that community togetherness with them wherever they go.
81 students in choir.
Unbelievable. And I loved how she talked about it's not practice makes perfect, but practice makes us better. And I think it's why her kids love her, and she has 81 students, because she's about the journey. They feel that together, the team atmosphere.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah, 3 choirs too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I'd heard that, but it's always amazing to hear what she's doing with those kids. She's really building the program.
This summer we had a staff retreat, and she was planning that PBL experience that she talked about. That's immersive with the audience, with the snow.
She was in staff retreat, and she was kind of sharing that idea and giving us a glimpse of it, but I am really excited to see it come to life. And I know she's working with Lauren Henline and team members for, you know, making that come across. So I'm really excited about that. And her belief in students, I mean, come on.
And her smile, everywhere she
Yes.
goes, she has that radiant smile,
Yeah,
and it draws people to her.
And she connects with the community, and she immerses the kids and the community together. So she just, I don't know, she says it's cliche that music brings people together, but she's right. It does bring people together. And Kayla, we're lucky. I know she's been here for 5 years. She talked about her personal growth and that video as a teacher. I knew she was special when we hired her, and she really is amazing, and her kids are amazing. And we're just lucky to have our Finneytown elementary students.
We are very lucky to have her. Speaking of bringing people together, we're going to throw it to Lori, our roving reporter. She's now moved backstage, where she's checking in with some of our band students as they get ready to perform. Take it away, Lori.
I'm going to wait for Zane's going to point at us. Thanks, Mike and Tammy. I'm backstage now before the concert starts. The student musicians are getting ready, and I'm joined by Ollie. Ollie, what grade are you in?
I'm in 5th grade.
What instrument do you play, Ollie?
I played the bell kit.
Are you excited for tonight's performance?
Yes.
What's the best thing about band, being a part of the band for you?
I love playing all the music.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you taking time before you start the performance to connect with us and share a little bit with the people at home watching. And good luck, and break a leg.
I will.
All right. Thanks, Ollie. Bye. With that, I'm going to let Ollie get back to preparing for tonight's show. We are so blessed with so many student musicians, and we look forward to sharing their talents with you. With that, I'm going to send it back to Mike and Tammy.
Oh, that interview with Ollie.
And thank you so much, Laurie.
Oh, that is great. I think the most amazing thing about our program is we include all students, and all of our students' gifts contribute to the performances and
Absolutely.
experiences our students have. And I'll tell you what, behind the scenes, I know we can hear the kids kind of warming up on stage, and I know as a former band director, the behind the scenes, it can get a little crazy, a little chaotic, right?
And Ollie didn't look too
No, he
nervous.
didn't.
He looked
didn't
amazing.
At all. He looked excited to perform. I wish I was
Yeah.
that calm, cool, and
I
collected all
do
the
too.
time.
I do too. Tell me more about behind the scenes.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, you got a lot to remember. You've got your instrument, and you've got your music, and you've got to read if you're a clarinet player, saxophone player. And sometimes you're like getting ready, and you're backstage, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I dropped my music outside, or wait a minute, my reed broke. And then you're like scrambling for somebody to help you. But rest assured, as a band director, we have the first plan, the second plan, the third plan. We have extra reeds in our pockets.
I was going to say, you were talking about a reed, and if that breaks, I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you do in that moment? But you have plenty of things in place.
We
for
have
that.
plenty of things in place. And one of the things we talked about, parent volunteers, whoo, that's
Thankful for
big.
them.
Yeah, we are. And, you know, the kids, that nervous energy they have, that, you know, they really put that in their performance. And I know you probably hear some of them warming up in the background right now.
Yeah.
But they're just excited to perform. And it's a little chaotic, but they really always pull it in.
They come together.
They come together.
The good thing is they have each other, and
They
I think
do.
that helps. Well, we will see Lori again in a few minutes. She's now going to make her way to Mr. Frank and Mr. Delaney so we can get their thoughts before the fifth graders begin their performance. And I know the sixth graders right now are kind of warming up if you hear them. But in the meantime, let's get started with diving into our first performance with our fifth graders. Our fifth graders, they meet each morning before school, and they're going to open tonight's concert with a Mozart melody and Jingle Bells.
Oh, that's a classic.
This year, 25 enthusiastic students have started their musical journeys together, embracing the joy of performance.
And it really is about embracing that joy of performance, because let's just face it, they put a lot of work in the band room, and then they build up all the way to the concert, and then now they get to share that music with their families and their friends.
And I bet they're so excited too because they're playing songs that they have heard,
I
like
know.
Jingle Bells. Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at that. I mean, if you think about it as a musician, I know you've had kids in band, I've had kids in band, but we've been about music all the time. And with that comes some memories and some songs we've played before. I know you sang in the cantata at your church.
Love that.
And so music is one of those things that we don't have to just give up when we start in fifth grade and then we get to high school and we're done. Like, no, it continues.
lifetime.
It does. And that's one of the beauties of it is now that you've learned those skills, now you can go and perform in other places when you get out, and you don't have to be a music major to do that. And a lot of our community, they still perform. We have a lot of performers in the Finneytown community. We have a very artsy community. And so that's what's really awesome about
It
our
also,
community.
speaking of that and people coming back and keeping that skill, it reminds me of when like alumni come back and play with the band.
I know.
And that's so fun.
And they
Have you
also-
ever done that? Have you?
I have gone back to my high school and played, but the other thing is our alumni here, they volunteer to teach a lot too, our kids. So
Okay.
I think it's pretty awesome. Is Lori ready yet?
I think she may be ready. She
Yeah.
might have a parent with her. So Lori is now backstage. She's not with Sam or Brad. We'll get to that maybe in a moment. But let's hear what they have to say about the performance down here. Take it away, Lori.
Thanks, Mike and Tammy. I am now joined by Chad Engelman. And Chad, can you tell us what you're looking forward to at tonight's concert?
These winter concerts are great because you get to see the kids starting off as 8th graders or even 5th graders, and they have been playing for about 3 months. And then you get to see the progression of the children as they go from 5th to 6th to 7th to 8th until you get all the way up to the high school concert band. And it's amazing just to watch the progression, because when the 5th graders who've been playing for 4 months get up there and play Jingle Bells, it's interesting, but they're trying really hard. And then to hear the sophistication of the music when the high schools get up there, it's amazing that our school district was able to take these kids from that level all the way through. And most of them do not have outside lessons. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing tonight.
I think one of the things I love about our winter concert, it always gets me into the holiday mood and the holiday season. It's such a great celebration. And for me, music is joy, and I know you're a music lover. And so, and you're son is in the band?
Yes, Ben will be playing in the 8th grade band and in the high school band.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking time to connect with us and enjoy the show.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Laurie, and thank you, Mr. Engelman.
You know what? We're really, really blessed to have Chad in our community because he has all that background with theater.
Yeah.
And I know he's been instrumental over the years of getting some of those props built and the design with that. And we're kind of lucky to have that gift in our community. We really are.
I remember just being backstage when we were setting up and seeing some of those props, anything from a dentist chair to it's crazy.
But for our marching band show, he's been instrumental in some of those designs.
Wow. Well, we thank him for that. We'll keep an eye on Laurie, and she's going to try to grab Sam and Brad, and we'll let you know when that's coming up. But let's explore the journey that students experience throughout their school year. Can you share what it looks like behind the scenes and what the 5th graders are learning?
Yeah, so think about it this way. When you start kindergarten, you do have a foundation of language for 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't really know how to put those words together. So think of a 5th grader. They've had the foundation of music from Kayla Fields, our amazing general music teacher. So she's prepared them with the musical alphabet. Now they have to figure out how to use that new language they have and make music with it. And so now they make sounds. They figure out how those notes on the staff go down with what fingers and how those sounds coordinate with what's on the page for the music. And so they're starting to make those first sounds on their instrument and play their first 5 notes.
And those notes, when you're talking about 5 notes, how many in general are we thinking? Like, you know, when I think of the alphabet, I know I've got 26 letters, but I don't think it's that simple, is it?
Yeah, well, there's 7 notes in the musical alphabet, right?
Okay.
But if you add the chromaticism, there's 12 notes in chromaticism. That's a big word, right? But basically, you're learning 5 or 6 notes of that 7-note musical alphabet. And so that's where it starts for your foundation.
Gotcha. So the 5th graders, they're learning those 5 notes or 6 notes. They're also, I guess, learning how to practice together.
Absolutely. And think about it.
Two things at once, huh?
I know, but think about it from their perspective. Mm-hmm. You're making a weird shape with your mouth. You're trying to figure out where your corners go for a brass player. You're trying to figure out how to put the reed in your mouth and how to put that exactly in the right position and make the sound. And what people don't know is how to breathe. That sounds weird, but just breathing in the right part of your body and then letting that air come out consistently.
Now, that breath that you're talking about, would that be different with each instrument?
Yeah, you know, I don't think it's different, but it is unique how that airstream comes out for each instrument. So on trumpet player, like it has a different resistance because of how the pipes are designed versus a flute. A flute, the air just goes straight through. So imagine, just take this in your head for a second.
It's hard for me.
A 5th grade flute player has a hard job because there's no resistance to the air. They blow, the air goes right out. Trumpet player, they have those pipes that's got to go through, so there's pressure. And so it helps them a little bit. So every instrument has unique challenges, but think of that perspective of it really is a journey, and you're trying to figure out how to make your airstream go steady so that sounds really beautiful.
I love it. Well, it looks like Laurie has grabbed Brad and Sam. They might have some of that chaotic nerves that we were talking about with our 5th graders, but we are going to send it to Laurie at this time and get their thoughts before the performance begins. Take it away, Laurie.
All right, we're live. It's almost time. We're behind the scenes with our band directors, Brad Delaney and Sam Franck. Thanks for taking the time right before you guys go on stage. What are you most excited about for tonight's performances?
I'm excited for the kids just to enjoy performing live. It's always fun playing in front of an audience. They've worked so hard and seeing their hard work pay off.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. The students getting an opportunity to perform in front of their family and friends, it's always great to see.
Well, we appreciate you taking time right before you go on stage. We wish you the best of luck, and we're looking forward to getting in the holiday spirit with some great music.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thank you, Sam and Brad.
Oh,
thank you, Laurie.
That's a great interview. I know they're busy. I know, but they're really excited about the concert. You can tell.
And as we are looking out across the Performing Arts Center, we see that the 5th graders, they're getting on stage. They're not quite ready. I think we might have like 5 minutes left. And so let's talk a little bit about the 5th graders meeting each day and how that helps. That's amazing.
Yeah, we heard them warming up, and we don't want to spoil the performance for our audience, but I'm going to tell you something. They're pretty good for fifth grade.
They are. I mean, coming from, we've both been parents with students in band, and when you first start and hear those
you don't
screeching
always
sounds.
sound good when you first start, do you, Tammy?
No, not at all. I remember closing some of the doors sometimes when the kids were practicing, but I was still cheering them on because it is an amazing thing to have that skill, like you said, your whole life.
Yes.
As well as the commitment and dedication. It teaches kids so many different things aside from the music skill.
And the parents and students work together. It's that triangle. And the triangle is the student. Starts with them, right? And then the teacher. But that parent is the third part of that trifecta of the triangle.
Support.
That support. Without that in the foundation, we can't do what we do here. And I know how it is to hear those students. If you get there and go, oh, you got that note. That was so amazing. Like, they get so excited about that.
Cheering them on.
Yes.
Well, I can see the fifth graders' time for their performance has come. We will wait for Brad and Sam to walk out on stage to take that podium, but they are making their way there, so we'll let you watch and listen, and we'll be back after their performance.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you all for coming out. I heard it started to snow, so thank you all for braving the weather to be here and enjoy the band program's winter concert. This is our 5th grade, and we're going to go ahead and get started with them. So this group of students are awesome. They show up to the elementary school every day early before school starts to work on learning their instruments. And so that has been really quite a treat for us because we get to see them every day. Obviously, you see the progress that they made, and we get to know them really well. And so it's been a really, really fun thing seeing them so often and getting to start their band journey out this way. So we have one more piece for you this evening, and it is Jingle Bells, and they love it. So here we go.
Great job, fifth grade.
Oh, they did
gosh.
awesome. Good
I
job,
love
kiddos.
it. Oh, I love it. We know from Mr. Delaney and Mr. Franck that the students have learned their first 6 notes that we were talking about earlier. But how do you think they feel now that that performance is over?
I mean, as they're getting ready to get off stage, I know they're feeling like, okay, we made it. But they're also thinking, we did it.
And it was great to hear the round of applause from all the
yeah,
parents
the
and
parents,
supporters in the audience.
They're so proud.
And we are right now
Can we
watching
hear
them
just one more
walk
time
off
for those
stage,
fifth graders?
and they're going to give another round of applause. I know you guys are all cheering at home too.
Look at those kids.
Oh, it's so terrific.
Very, very proud of their hard work and their progress so far this year. As they file off, after 7th grade performs, they can be picked up backstage. If you absolutely have to, now you can go out and around and pick them up backstage. That's where all of their belongings are. So that's where they're headed right now. And then as 6th grade comes onto the stage, I would like to introduce Mrs. April Bruder, the president of the Finneytown Music Parents Association.
Thank you, Mr. Delaney. As he said, I am the president of the Finneytown Music Parents Association. It's a really long, fancy way to say we're the music boosters. We already have our athletic boosters, so we had to sound a little different. But our biggest mission is to support our music department, our staff, and our students. What we do is a lot of fundraising, a lot of volunteer efforts, and advocacy when needed to support our students and our staff. We have a lot of opportunities that you can help support our staff and students here and keep growing our amazing music programs. Some of the things we've got going on fundraiser-wise this week, it's super busy. First, tonight, if you'll be here through the high school band portion of the evening, is you'll be able to, you won't necessarily all get to conduct, really. Mr. Delaney and Mr. Frank have given up that opportunity so that we could raffle off the opportunity to one of you. Tickets to win that experience are $1 or $6 for $5. See Maggie Laird, she's out in the lobby, or maybe Minnie Walker right now. And if not then, if you want to stay in your seat, it'll be ballpark style. Maggie's really good about making sure anyone who wants to buy those tickets before we pull the name gets to purchase those. The other big thing this week is one of 4 Dine to Donates. Anyone who knows, especially our band guys here, but Mr. Geisel and Miss Fields as well, they are frequent diners at our Finneytown Skyline. So those folks were really happy to have us, and anyone who wants to, tomorrow, come and 10% of your meal will be donated. We've got some flyers up front. You can also print them off from our Facebook page if you've seen those. We also have on Saturday our 2nd annual Sounds of the Season Pancake Breakfast. You're going to hear some of the same great musicians that are here tonight and some other things that you can only hear if you show up there on Saturday. We do have a few volunteer spots, but really most importantly, what we need is for you to show up, buy some breakfast that is cooked for you. What's better on what will probably be a cold Saturday morning than to have that prepared for you? Have some time with your neighbors, make some new friends, listen to these great kids play even greater music. Volunteers are really hard for us to find. We found after COVID, it's really a struggle. We all got real cozy in our houses, so we're asking those of you who have a few extra hours in, whether it's a month or maybe just the whole school year. If you've got a couple hours, we've got something for everybody. Stop by our table up front, see what ways there are you have to be involved. If you've got a skill or a love or a passion that you feel like you can bring to us, we're happy to find ways to make sure everybody can help out. We always like to remind you as well at these that we will always take your money. We have supporter levels beginning at the $10 level all the way up to whatever amount you'd like to give. You can do that in cash here tonight, or we can also take card, or you can find our website and do it there at your convenience. Stop and see us on our way out. If you heard anything tonight you want to hear again, I will not rattle off all our websites, our Facebook page, things like that. You can stop and get a little card on your way out if you want to see, get more information, or have those things at your fingertips. I know Mr. Delaney, Mr. Frank, and these students behind us have worked really hard tonight. Let's give them one more hand, and let's listen to the rest of this great night.
Oh, man, they're getting ready right now. I know that they're excited, 6th grade. First of all, April, such a big supporter. She has a big team, and I know that everybody, they're pressed for time, but all the volunteerism really means a lot.
Yeah. Well, I see Mr. Frank is on his way out to the podium, so we'll cut what we were going to say short, and we'll take it down to the stage and listen to our 6th graders.
Hello, everyone. This is our 6th grade band. So these students are in their second year of doing band, and we see each student once a week. So that was our first song called Go Tell Aunt Rhody, and this next one's called March Steps.
Great job, 6th graders.
Yeah, that's a lot of students on stage.
That is a lot of students. That's a big difference from 5th grade. They played for us, Go Tell Aunt Rhody and March Steps. They have 64 students, and many of them are new to band this year, so they didn't all start in 5th grade. But due to some unique challenges that Sam and Brad told us about, they also commended their teamwork and commitment, and that's what's brought them here to share that progress that they're making. What's different that the 6th graders are learning from what the 5th grade's learning?
Well, let's back up for a second.
Sure.
One thing is you can see there's a larger group of students on stage, and part of that challenge of being a large band is staying together. So in that first piece they played, you could hear there was like 2 different parts going on at once, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's because they're getting in this stage area for the first time in this big area, and they're trying to learn together. But when they got to that second song, boy, they pulled it together, didn't they?
They did, and it was
that's live
fun,
performance.
and it looked like that they were having fun.
Yes, that's for
So
sure.
that's the good thing. Now,
Yes.
filing off is taking a little bit of time as we're getting ready for the 7th grade to come up. And let's talk a little bit about both of us and our experience. We've both had children in a band program and been parents. You have also been a student as well as the band director. So tell me, what else is the 6th grade learning that's different?
Well, one of the things is they have more parts going on at once. So usually with 5th grade, you're playing one unison part. In 6th grade, we start to add a few more parts. And I know they're going to get into those 2-part harmonies. That's part of their journey. But the other part of the journey is you have a lot more textures that you didn't have before because your sound is getting bigger and fuller because you're able to use all your air. So now you're balancing your sound between the members a little bit more, and you could hear that. The core sound of 6th grade was bigger than 5th grade, not just because of their sound and
Or their
their size, I
size.
should say. It's because their sound has developed a lot.
And that's a big improvement.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And working together. Well, the 7th grade is setting up, and we're getting ready to listen to them. So let's talk about what they're going to play. We're going to hear from them Ultimatum and Santa's Rockin' Holiday Mix. And this year, they've grown tremendously in skill. They've moved from 3 to 5 days of practice each week. And this group, they're smaller again with 23 students. And even though they've been through some challenges, they have developed a deeper musicianship and have discovered their sound as an ensemble. Sam and Brad said that they've also shared their humor and encouragement from the directors and that they're just a joy to be around.
You know, I think the journey of a 7th grade band member, let's dive into that a little bit between 7th grade and 8th grade, because you'll see 8th grade a little bit later. With 7th grade, you have a bigger vocabulary.
Okay.
So you have a lot
Those
more
notes that you were talking
that I was
about
talking
from
about
fifth
at
and
the
sixth.
beginning, where you've got your 5 or 6 notes as a 5th grader. Then now you've got a chromatic scale that's developed, and you're going to have a lot more things that you can play on the stage versus when you're in 5th and 6th grade. So now
Okay.
you have 3 parts that are going
Wow.
on. So like the flutes and clarinets have a part, and the saxophones and horns have a part, and then the brass, and then you have percussion. So sometimes there's 3 or 4 parts that are going on the stage. And so that's kind of cool because they get to play more intricate music for the audience.
And how does that affect them when they're playing together, listening to the different parts? Is it confusing as a 7th grader? Is it?
Yeah, I think you need a little bit more independence, especially since you're a smaller ensemble. So like instead of like in 6th grade, you might have 5 to 8 people on one part. Well, in this ensemble, you might be one of 2 or 3 on one part. So it's like playing a solo.
Yeah.
But so it's a little bit more independence of responsibility. But all in all, their sound is there, their notes are there, their vocabulary is there, and their expression of dynamics are there. So they're getting ready to come on stage. So let's go tune in right now.
All right.
And let's hear their performance. I'm excited.
Let's watch and listen.
Thank you very much. This is our 7th grade band. Obviously, you can see that they're playing different music. They're playing music that has multiple parts, not just one line, lots of different rhythms, different melodies. They're responsible for their own music now, so their person sitting right next to them might not be playing exactly what they're playing. So it's a whole nother level of musicianship that they're able to learn this year, and it's been a lot of fun working with them and getting to see them grow through that. We have one more piece with 7th grade. It's called Santa's Rockin' Holiday Mix. After we perform this, we'll have a little bit of an intermission. 6th grade students are back in the band room, if you would like to pick them up there. 5th grade students will be backstage, and 7th grade students will be back in the orchestra room. Okay? Thank you all for coming out. Make sure you stay for the second half of the concert. And if you haven't bought a raffle ticket to win a chance to conduct the high school band playing Sleigh Ride, make sure you do that at the intermission.
What an amazing job.
Great job. Oh, that's terrific. You've now heard our 5th, 6th, and 7th graders, and now we're going to take a short intermission, but we have some programming for you as we get to that. So we have another interview with our orchestra teacher, Mr. Daniel Geisel.
He's amazing.
Orchestra had a concert last week, just like Miss Fields' did, and so let's hear from him at this time.
We'll take about a 10-minute intermission, and we'll be
So
back
I
with
am
8th grade
Daniel
band
Geisel.
at
I am the orchestra
7:35.
director here
Thank
at
you.
Finneytown, and this is my 3rd year. What's happening with our orchestra program? Well, we just had our orchestra camp last Wednesday on the 20th, and that was an amazing experience for my students. But we also have our orchestra concert coming up on the 4th, which I guess has already happened now based on this video, but that is coming up next Wednesday after break. The orchestra camp grade levels was 7th, 8th, and high school. So sort of the goal with the orchestra camp this year was to really try and build some community amongst my orchestra players. My middle schoolers don't know my high schoolers. And then my high schoolers, it's the next period, so they're very tired. They're sleepy every morning. There's not a lot of chit chat going on when you're sleepy at 7 in the morning. So I want an opportunity for the high schoolers to get to know each other more, as well as, let these middle schoolers get to know these high schoolers and just see like how awesome these other people are and how awesome it is to play with the orchestra as well. I definitely feel like it was successful. We did lots of community builders during our orchestra camp where the kids they partnered up amongst each other. So middle schoolers and high schoolers had to make teams together. I assigned them the teams though to make sure they were actually mixing and getting out of their comfort zones. And we also did a combined piece with 7th, 8th, and high school where they all got to play together. So that was a very, very cool experience to have for them. Yes, the camp invited 3 professors from NKU to come in and work with the students. And they were very, very impressed with how much knowledge those professors had. I've had some students say, like, that cello professor, that was the most beautiful sound I've ever heard in my entire life. It's like, I know, it's amazing. Yes, absolutely. I'm definitely hoping to continue doing this annually and make it something that students look forward to once they arrive in middle school. Hopefully that will create some buy-in, create some energy for my program. What are we going to hear at our concert? We're going to have a nice mix of just, our standard repertoire that we might play for a concert. But of course, it's the holiday season, so we're going to also have some cool holiday tunes, especially at the end when we're going to do our little combined piece with our 7th, 8th, and high school. So I think that's going to be very, very cool for the audience to experience. What has me most excited about the orchestra program? There's lots of things to be excited about, I would say, for sure. I feel like the focus that my students have for music, those professors who came in were very impressed with just being able to 3 classes in a row, essentially, be focused and learn. I had several of those professors say that they were surprised. It felt refreshing. They feel like they've had groups before that maybe showed a little less enthusiasm by the time they got to that 3rd session of the day. So I'm very proud and excited about just the focus that my students have. And I'm also excited for the camps in the future. I would like to figure out the logistics, but I would like to take the camp off campus in the future. If I could actually take it to an actual overnight camp, I think that would be an amazing experience for them and really just help build even stronger connections between my students. I would say just, it kind of goes back to what we just talked about, but I think what surprises me the most this year is that my students, just their love for music and how gung-ho they are to learn their new music. And honestly, I just think they sound better in general this year. Like, I was very surprised just how much better my high school group especially is sounding this year. Stay tuned. You have to go see the concert and hear how they sound, because I think they're sounding pretty good this year. Nice. Yes. I would say if there was anything that I learned about myself so far this year is that if I, just go for it. If you want to do something like an orchestra camp, you can make it happen. You just got to go through the steps, just put in the work, and you can get it done. And that, I would also say, just persistence, just being persistent with whatever my goals are with my students. If we keep working at it, we're going to be successful with that. Sure. So like one last thing, we do have a fundraiser happening with our Finneytown Music Parents Association coming up on the 16th. If you enjoy some holiday tunes, come to our Sounds of the Seasons pancake breakfast happening on the 16th. It is a Saturday, and you can come hear our voices sing. You can hear the band, and you can hear the orchestra perform while eating a delicious breakfast. Sorry, it is at the elementary school. At the elementary school from 9 to 11:30.
Thank you, Daniel. It's great hearing from you. Just a reminder that the band fundraiser is this Saturday, December 14th, from 9 to 11:30 a.m., and we hope you all can join us. Right now, Lori is down in front of the entrance of the PAC again, and she has FMPA President April Bruder with her. So take it away, Lori.
So, April, how long have you been involved with FMPA?
That's a lot of years. I'm not real sure exactly, at least 10.
And what does being a part of that support organization mean to you?
It really means a lot to me. My 3 children have all been on this stage as those sweet 5th graders, and our baby is now a freshman, and I've seen so much growth, not only from my own kids, but from the kids that I've been able to be there as a volunteer for, at marching band events, different events. I've seen kids grow and change in ways that we never thought we would see, who still come back and see me when they are visiting with their siblings or anytime they're back in the community.
That's awesome. I just want to say on behalf of the district that we are so appreciative of your leadership in FMPA and for all the people who are part of our support organizations and who volunteer. It takes everyone to contribute so that we can showcase our students' talents and give them the opportunities they deserve. So lastly, what do you think of the concert so far tonight?
It's always amazing. It just always amazes me. It happens every year. We see the growth, and I continue to be just shocked every time. I shouldn't be, but it's just beautiful every time we see these things.
Well, thank you for taking time out and sharing your thoughts with us. With that, I'm going to toss it back to Mike and Tammy.
Thank you, Laurie, and thank you again, April. We appreciate all of your time and dedication to all the band students and your commitment to the community in general. Let's go back and talk about what some of the things Daniel said.
You know, Daniel, he's done a really good job with our orchestra program, and that orchestra camp he put together was so cool. He brought professors in from NKU, and they worked with the kids, and I know some of the kids were like, oh man, that cello player was so awesome.
And what an experience for them to be with professional players and to hear that.
It makes a big difference. It really does. And the fact that they get to do that as a team, because that was part of Daniel's plan with the students, is how can we build team between our 7th, 8th graders going into the high school? And so he asked his seniors, how cool is this? He asked his seniors to develop the community builders, and they did it.
So they
like blindfolded kids, put them on teams, and they had to coach them how to get through this obstacle course.
That's cool.
It was just so
like
cool.
The floor is lava, and they're trying to get through there. I love it. It wasn't just about the music. It was about building community, which Finneytown is all about.
Yeah, and we know that from restorative practice, that is where the core of our heart is here at Finneytown, is how do we get to know each other before we learn something? And that, I know that's something that we think is innate or just happens, but you have to create those experiences
You
for
do,
students.
and I appreciate Daniel's commitment to creating that for the orchestra students. So we're preparing right now for the 8th grade to come on, and we want to talk a little bit about the 7th grade performance, which we didn't get to talk about. We noticed that they were a smaller group, but I loved the hats they were wearing.
Right.
I loved their sound.
Well, let's go back a little bit to that group, because what you heard in that group is that syncopation we talked about.
Okay.
And you heard
I did
multiple
feel like dancing.
parts, right? Like they had that bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. And it was like passed around the ensemble, which was really cool. And that's that syncopated rhythm we're talking about. It makes you want to dance. And you heard the percussion much more active in this one. And so that whole experience is created because they've developed their musical vocabulary. They can play more difficult rhythms, and you heard them get really soft and grow their dynamics. I thought that was the coolest part of their performance, is they really strived to play dynamically and really get soft and bring it in the middle and then get really loud together. And I thought that was so cool. And I think from an outside perspective, people don't understand how difficult as a young musician it is to play soft. You think, oh, that's easy, you just kind of blow. Well, it has to be really steady and careful practice with the airstream. And man, they really are coming along on that.
And I couldn't believe also that the audience seemed to be totally into it. We get to peek over the edge here, and the dynamics make it so much more emotional.
Yeah, and that's the part about music that I love. It's that language. It's like when you and I talk together, our inflections in our voice, our excitement, like it makes us want to listen to each other.
That's
right.
Well,
that's what they're doing with the music. All those nuances of dynamics and rhythms and groove, that really makes you sit on your edge of your seat like, what's going to happen next?
And I love how you've taken us through what we've learned in 5th grade, then 6th grade, what added on to that, then 7th grade. And I'm excited for what's going to happen and we're going to hear the differences in 8th grade.
And there will be a difference. There's going to be more of a core dynamic range for them too. So like they're going to carry that over, but it's going to be, I will guess, I haven't heard them yet today.
We haven't.
So I'm going to guess here, I'm going to go out on a limb, but my prediction is that group is going to have a little bit more quiets that stay longer, and then they're going to grow more naturally together. And I think the parts are going to pass around the ensemble. The melodies are going to go from section to section.
I'm going to listen for that.
Rhythms. Yeah, listen for that, because I think you'll hear that in their performance.
And I like that. I like that you've taught me that's what wants me
to
move around.
Think about it. When we turn on the radio, we start to shimmy and shake, right? Because we hear those rhythms, we hear that melody.
I know, and that's what I enjoy, and everybody does. Well, let's talk about a little bit what the 8th graders are going to play, and we'll listen for what you say we should listen for, because it's going to be cool. They are bringing a vibrant energy and commitment to their pieces. They're going to play Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Here we go.
That's a favorite.
That's
Everybody will recognize.
Favorite.
Electricity.
Uh-oh. We're not going to get electrocuted.
We better not be.
Okay, I hope not.
And All I Want for Christmas Is You without Mariah Carey.
Oh, darn. I thought she was going to come just for this performance.
We can get that coming on here. Their rhythm is full of life, and they bring a sense of unity and excitement to the band. Sam and Brad had so many good things to say about them. They're proud of their hard work and the way they support each other, especially as more students discover that joy of being in the band. Some of them, they've been in 5th, 6th, 7th. This will be their 4th year as 8th graders. Yeah. Now, the 8th graders, we're about at the end of first semester, so they're halfway through this year, and they're on their way to becoming members of the high school band. Many of them started in 5th grade and have had performance experiences before tonight, so we'll get to see how they are different than the others. 8th graders are now taking the stage, so we're going to send it down to the stage and let you watch and listen as they get ready to perform.
All right, so this is our 8th grade band, as you probably already guessed. Most of these students have been in band since 5th grade, but also 7 of them, this is their very first year joining band. So they've worked really hard and they got caught up a lot. So let's give up for those students who are working real hard. All right. And our last piece is their favorite. It's by Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Amazing.
I was almost sure that Mariah Carey was going to come down from the rafters, float in, and sing the last
And
part.
I think the kids would have loved it too.
Yeah.
Oh
but
my
the
gosh.
audience, they love that one. Did you hear the roar of applause? At
Yes,
the end?
that and watching
Yeah.
the kids, even especially the percussionists, you can tell them. The others, it's hard to tell, but
Yeah.
they're back there bebopping to the music, and they loved it, and I loved it. They were all songs that I readily recognized
Yes.
and love, and as well as everybody here in the audience.
So when you hear some from those familiar sounds like that last number, it just is that memory lock that you have when you turn on the radio and you hear that and you see the time of season it is. And so that's what music does. And I love how they program the music. They pick that music that the audience can enjoy too. And I think that's really important.
And I loved listening for what you told us to listen for when you were saying they would start out soft, work their
did
way.
You notice that?
Oh, I did. And how it builds with the excitement. I noticed in the first number, I came over and asked you, I was like, is that cowbell I hear?
Yes.
Memes of
let's
needing
talk about
more
percussion
cowbell.
real quick because
Yes.
let's focus on that. So we
That's
heard
right.
between the pieces, some of you might be going, what is that they're doing between the pieces? Well, they're tuning the timpani. And you might ask yourself, why are they tuning the timpani between the pieces? Well, each piece has a different time signature. And so when they go to play a different song, each drum has to have a different note. So that's why they're retuning that between the pieces. Just a little bit of a tidbit there.
And I did notice Jared, who's in the high school band, who's coming up next, he was the one doing that. So about what time or in your progress of music do you get that skill?
Usually around 8th grade to high school, being a freshman, you get that skill. And that's where we empower our students who are in high school to be leaders. That's why he's coming in and helping out. So it's kind of a mentorship thing that he's doing right now with the kids.
I love that. And
I do too.
he enjoys it too. Because I
Yes.
talked to him earlier and he said that. He said I'd be helping out and he was excited about that.
Did you notice all those parts that were going on
I
at
did.
once?
I was going to ask that question
Isn't that
next.
so cool?
So how many parts now? I mean,
Well, I heard about 6 different parts going on. I had percussion
Amazing.
doing something, low brass. Like everybody was jumping around with different rhythms and different notes and melodies and harmonies.
that set them apart from 7th grade for sure,
Absolutely.
that learning.
You could hear the difference. Yeah. And that's just more time.
Okay,
on
and
the
they've been in it
instrument.
more. And
Longer journey.
as Sam said,
Yes.
there were only 7 students who were new to the 8th grade band.
That's crazy.
And they
I mean,
jumped
honestly,
right in.
They jumped right. I'm so proud of those 7 students after just really 4 months of school playing a concert. Like, wow.
And trying to listen to those melodies and harmonies.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Well, our final act is upon us.
Oh, yeah. Here
the
we
one
go.
we've been waiting for.
Here we go.
Our high school concert band will close the evening, and they're going to do selections including The Holly and the Ivy and the famous sleigh ride. Now, this year's high school band, they're a young band. They only have 6 seniors, and they've also had a very quick turnaround from marching band season.
They have. But
3
they
weeks.
always rise to that occasion, don't they?
Yeah, 3 weeks that they've been rehearsing to get ready for this concert here tonight, and that amazes me.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent in that group, and they're about to come on right now. Let's go down and see what they've got in store for us.
Take it
here.
away. Enjoy.
Thank you all so much. This is our high school band. These students are awesome, just like all of the students that we get to teach here at Finneytown. These kids had a fantastic marching season. Yeah. And prepared for this concert in just 12 rehearsals. So the music that you're hearing tonight, they started not even a month ago. So these kids really are awesome. Their hard work and dedication are unmatched, and I'm very, very proud of them. Before we play our next piece, I think we have a raffle drawing. Am I right? Yeah. Mrs. Laird, everybody. I'm going to do it?
Sure. You know, it was really interesting. A lot of people wanted to donate, but they didn't want their name on a ticket.
Why?
I don't know.
Huh. Noemi Israel. Where are you at? Come on up, Noemi. Noemi is a high school band alum. Got a sister in the band. What a cool moment. Akila. All right. You remember how this goes?
No.
No? Okay.
I know how it goes, not how it ends.
Well, here's this. Okay. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. Shake it out. Oh, nah, she knows what's up. Try again. Y'all missed that. Oh, step back off me. All right. Sleigh ride, everybody.
Awesome. Good job, Noemi.
Good job, Noemi. She did great. It's like she's done that before, done it her whole life.
Well, she was a drum major for us. So she had a little bit of advantage.
She did. She had some experience for sure.
Yeah.
We want to thank you
you
all
all so
for
much
joining
again for
us
coming out,
to
supporting these
celebrate the
amazing
hard
students this
work,
evening.
the
Give it
growth,
up one
and the
more time
joy
for
these
Noemi.
students bring to our community. We're going to go to Lori for some final thoughts.
Those drum major skills
She
paid
may
off,
not
yeah?
be ready, though, so we're going to wait and see.
And one more time
We're gonna
for these
listen to
amazing
Brad real
students
quick.
behind me. Thank you all so much for your support of these kids and music education here in Finneytown. Have an amazing evening and drive safe getting home. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Mr. Delaney and Mr. Franck. We also want to thank Jen Dinan and Eric Muchmore for producing our live stream this evening. Our knowledge is constantly growing, as well as our friendships. We want to thank Lori Banks, our field reporter and interview extraordinaire. We appreciate her stepping in at short notice and her willingness to help. A huge shout out to our resident band expert over here, Mr. Mike Kennedy. It's been a pleasure tonight, you sharing your experience and your knowledge. I've learned a whole lot just hearing you this evening with everything behind the scenes and everything music that you've shared.
The feeling is mutual. You've been awesome to work with, so
Thank you.
We also want to thank Mr. Brad Delaney and Mr. Sam Franck. They shared their stories behind the scenes with us in advance, and we cannot thank them enough. And we witnessed it tonight in action with the students, and that added to all of our excitement. I know out there you loved it. I also want to thank our behind the stage camera crew, Zane Lawson, and we also had another student,
Shiraj Garang.
And we are so happy to have them. And then family and friends and the whole community coming out, and FMPA and everybody coming together tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this was fun. Thank you for joining us for our holiday band concert. We hope you enjoyed the performances as much as we did. Just to recap, our 5th graders amazed us with their mastery of the first 5 notes, and our 6th graders showed significant growth and enthusiasm in their lively performance. The 7th graders demonstrated the unique dynamics of a smaller ensemble, while the 8th graders brought back cherished memories with their familiar tunes and advanced musical techniques.
We're especially excited about the high school group.
Yeah.
Like, it's a long journey. They're young, but they've accomplished a lot this year, and it really showcased tonight with just 12 performances to prepare. Their teamwork made a difference tonight. Their rendition of Sleigh Ride, I mean, every time I hear that song, it makes me smile. And it was a perfect finale tonight for the concert. Thank you all to the students. The students here at Finneytown are unbelievable. The teachers, the administrators, they all work together, and we are so lucky to be where we are. And I want to thank you, the audience, for your continued support and for sharing in the celebration, because it is a celebration, Tammy,
Absolutely.
of music in our schools.
And before we sign off, we just want to remind everyone that our art students have their work on display in the Media Center. There's also a book fair going on, and that'll go on until tomorrow afternoon. So happy holidays, and we look forward to our next concert together.
1 second, we're going to send it off to Lori Banks to close it out.
Gotcha.
Thanks, Mike and Tammy. I just want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. What a wonderful celebration of our students and community. I just feel so lucky to be part of Finneytown, and what a awesome display of our musical talents. I hope you all enjoyed this evening and the joy that was brought by our students and by our band directors. And we wish you all a very happy and safe holiday season. And with that, I'm just going to toss it back to Tammy and Mike.
Well, happy holidays to our Finneytown community. We really appreciate you, and thank you again for joining us. And Tammy, let's do this again sometime.
We will, just not tomorrow. Good night. Happy holidays.